We go on a few years later. I was 23 when my dad passed away. I'm 30 now, so that's 7 years ago. 2 years later I started studying, which was amazing, going to university. I got myself a German girlfriend. She was also fine, it was amazing. But at one point, this gloriful life had to sort of get, a little dark. I was together with my girl by then, and it was around King's Day. King's Day is really famous in the Netherlands. We all dress up in orange. I hate it. You all would just walk into a city. You don't do anything more than drinking. It's not my thing, but yay. So what happened is like, of course, girls take the pill. Like, be safe, you know? This pill also might have some side effects. You even have some side effects that might struck 1 person out of 3 million people. Gladly, my girlfriend was that person to be struck. It was a really intense time. I've learned so much from it. But again, to everything painful, there's a little funny story. She got into the hospital, and she had 13 epileptic attacks in a row in one weekend and 1 seizure. Since she was from Germany, I was in the hospital. She didn't talk Dutch. The doctor also didn't talk German. So after the attacks and the seizure, the doctor told me if she's gonna have another seizure or another attack, she will go to intensive care and she might not make the day. I had to go to the parents to tell the parents that. Was not a nice moment. I can honestly say that that's been my most drastic moment in my life. I remember sitting myself at a window. No. An hour later, she finally, we thought that they found the balance with the medicine and that everything would be fine. We were sitting with her, there were no doctors around, and she started to shake. So I already was like, okay, I'm gonna walk out, I'm gonna get the doctor because this is happening again. What actually happened, she started to shake. And she started to shake because she thought it was a funny joke. So she started to shake, and while I ran away and her mom was like, "Are you fine?" She just continued for like 1 second more, and then she was like, "Nah, guys, just joking." Oh man, really dark, really funny. It's those more like the thing is, she did not remember that she had all of those attacks. You at one point lose the count after 13 epileptic attacks, which is totally normal. Let me also tell you, she's totally fine now. So everything was well, everything went fine. Then I have one more painful but funny story. Have you ever had a fight with a person that you are in a relationship with? Of course, everyone has, but there are certain moments, some things that happen that you don't necessarily want to happen, but that just happen. I had a really intense relationship, with an Austrian girl. She was amazing, honestly, but she was also really intense. In our relationship, we had some fights and it wasn't going really well. We were really stressed out because we were moving apart from each other. Not necessarily with the relationship, but if you still move to other cities, it's gonna be hard, you're gonna be stressed. Then there was this one evening, a few weeks before we moved out the place where we lived. And we wanted to go out, I wasn't feeling like it, she got mad. And she told me, something really offensive, like, yeah, then I'll just go out and get some guy. And at that moment, I was like, I was not doing well. So I didn't say anything at first. And then she walked back into the living room because I was laying in the bedroom. And since, like, you can see one of those things here, we used to have them standing in the bedroom as well. And I was mad. So what I only wanted to do was to put this rack into the living room and just yell something like, "Here are your clothes, get the fuck out," something like that. What actually happened was, before I could make my epic speech, the fucking thing fell over onto the table, and like some glasses of wine that were standing on the table, they fell over. Perfect instigator for like this yelling fight. And in that moment, it was really intense, and we just started sort of shouting towards each other. And now I think about it, and I just think it was funny as fuck. It was not my intention to sort of throw it over. It was also not my intention to throw the glasses on the ground, but hey, it happened. Last thing that's sort of left, and that's sort of getting healthy. I made this little experiment, I would say. I think most of you in the room here know that on my Sundays I sometimes like to throw a little dance and go to a club. I made a nice little experiment with that as well. Dealing with anxiety and depression is sort of like, sometimes you're anxious but you don't know why, and sometimes you're sad. You sort of know why, but still. At those very moments, what I used to do, if I started to be anxious, I got more anxious because, why are you anxious? I don't know. Got even more anxious. And you have these episodes, they call them. It's like an episode that it could take 2 weeks, that you feel sad or that you feel anxious. What I do now is I go to a club, I stand there. Sometimes I even do this alone because I just like doing this. I stand there, I start dancing, I just enjoy myself. And at one point, I might get anxious. And then I'm gonna have a discussion in my head. I'm gonna have a discussion in my head of, okay, I'm anxious now. Am I gonna go home? No. Is there a reason to be anxious? No. Dance a little more. And at one point, it will just be gone. The same things for if I am in a place and I'm just sad. I talk to myself, okay, why am I sad? Oh, do I know that story? Yeah, probably. Something that happened years ago. Am I still sad about it sometimes? Yes. What do? I just say, no, fuck it. I am here on my own. I am dancing on my own. I'm enjoying myself on my own. My little experiment. Before you know it, you're 18 hours at a club. There is just, from my parents, if we used to talk about mental health, you know, if you talk about mental health, there's always another word added. Either it's problem or it's issue. And both of those terms says there is something wrong with you. If you say mental health problem, okay, well, so it's your problem. You have to solve it. I start to recognize, for me, it's not a problem anymore. It's not an issue. It's something that I have to just deal with. There's no such thing as always feeling normal. There's no such thing as always just, oh, I'm good. No, that's not gonna happen. For me, at this very moment, I just go to clubs. I enjoy myself here, living here in Berlin. I am able to sort of, those moments that you're sort of with your head somewhere else while you're in a club, while you're on holidays. It's not happening anymore. And I really enjoy that. Just to end this, I just want to say I'm just chilling. And I'm good. And this was basically my first time making a little show for you guys.
Yeah,